been in pain, dental injuries. So I've had it's all self-induced though. It's not good.
I've had everything done, so I'll make it about me, and I'll say, yeah, had that, done that. Been there, done that.
I had a crown.
Yep, had one.
Have you had one come out when you're eating a lolly?
Oh no!
So it was an older crown. As the dentist said, it probably would have come out anyway. But this is a dentist. I've been going in Peter for about 20 years maybe, and when I first saw him, he had a look in my mouth and he goes, "Do you eat lollies and drink soft drink?" I'm like, "Wow, are you a psychic?" No. He's like, "No, I can tell by your teeth." Anyway, so he's always on to me about what I'm eating. And so the first thought I had was when it came out, I went, "Oh, no."
Point to which one it was?
At the top, back. So
that's right. So you couldn't see it.
You can't see it.
But you can still feel it now.
Oh, what happened? So I was eating a fruit chew, which is a sticky toffee fruit lolly. And I just pulled it out. I'm like, oh.
Toffees are the worst.
Mate, the worst. So I go and see him, and I go, oh, and I kept it to show him. Mm. He goes, yeah, that's no good. We're going to have to make a new one. That's old. It probably would have fallen out. Mm. He goes, but what was it with? I said, I was with a lolly, like a chewy lolly. He's like, oh, I told you to stop eating those. I'm like, yeah. So anyway, he puts in a temporary crown. Yep. Right?
Pretty quick, those. Bang. Poof.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, about a week later, comes out again. The temporary crown comes out.
Not with a lolly.
Yep. No, well, so I go back and see him, and I sit down. I go, "Your temporary crown's come out," and I present it to him. He's like, "What? He goes, "I'm not going to do anything until you tell me what it was. What lolly was it?" I'm like, "It wasn't a lolly." And he's like, "No, was it like a Fantail?" I said, "Mate, they've been discontinued." He's like, well, he went through lollies. He's going, "Was it a red frog?" I'm like, "Nah." Was it a Jube? I'm like, "Nah." Was it a Choo Choo bar? I went, "Mate, what is it, 1978?
I will never tell you.
Was it Turkish Delight? I go, "No." I said, "It wasn't a lolly." He goes, "All right." And then he turns around and I go, "It was juicy fruit." So it was chewing gum that pulled it out. Gum. Yeah, and so then, he puts the temporary crown back in. Yeah. I said to him, so if I'm like down the beach or whatever on my way, do I just stick it back in with a bit of super glue? He goes,
"What?"
Yeah, you can stick it back in. Oh, what was it?
Because it fits in perfectly.
Oh, well, keep listening because...
Oh, no.
Yeah, a week later...
pull the car over if you're listening. This is going to be interesting.
A week later, I'm eating party mix. I was in Adelaide. I'm eating party mix in Adelaide. I was in Adelaide during a heat wave. I needed to reward myself. I did 6 gigs that day in Adelaide.
You need to go home and reward yourself.
I'm in the motel room by myself, and there's a bag of party mix in the minibus staring at me.
Yep.
And I don't know if you've seen party mix. It's got they've got little bananas and stuff with faces on it, and they're all looking at me. I'm like, all right, come on, I'll eat you. So I started eating it, and I eat it would have been like a green jelly baby and a raspberry jelly baby.
No.
Yeah, pulled out the...
Now, how many times is this now?
This is the third time.
So it came out again third time?
No, this is the second time with the temporary one.
Second with the temporary. That was what pulled it out.
Yeah.
And then he said stick it back in the next time he went back.
Yeah, so all I did, I had a look at it. I cleaned the area with my tongue because it's very sensitive because... The temporary crown is covering the nerves and stuff, basically.
Right.
It's
so if you stuck your tongue in it, it would be
so painful.
Yeah.
And so I just got it and I just stuck it out and pushed it in and all good.
So it was still a bit sticky from its own glue, was it?
From the lolly, probably.
No,
they kind of make it like a glove, so it kind of fits, like it fits in there.
So it holds on. It's sort of snug over the top, sort of thing.
Until yesterday, it fell out again. So I was
Take it out now. Take it out now. Take it out now.
No. Well, what's happened? I was eating a salad sandwich, which is a very healthy choice, and I just feel something in my mouth. I'm like, oh no, it's fallen out again, and it's on the plate. And my daughter's like, "Dad, your tooth's fallen out."
No.
I'm like, yeah, and now the temporary one's got all cracks and holes in it. So I just rang up the dentist and said, "I've got to come back in," and they said, "Look,
is it back in there now?"
He did the permanent one yesterday.
So you're back on track.
The gold one's back. So I got the new crown in there. It's fantastic.
Lucky.
The temporary one's gone because the temporary didn't work out well for me because being a lolly fiend, it was no good.
I know we should start the show because we could go to the music from that.
Yes.
Incredible story. But I had the same thing happen to me.
Really?
Similar. Riding on a bike, 17-year-old.
Oh.
Yeah, forgot to tie up the front nuts.
Oh, that's right. The wheel came off.
I flicked the front wheel out. The forks hit the road. I land on next door's the Hyde's driveway. Tooth comes out on the road. Go to the doctors. and the doctor says, "Where's the tooth?" It's raining. My brother goes back, gets down
finds a tooth.
in the gutter,
Wow.
puts it in his hanky, and brings it back. Bang! Just push it straight back in. And if you do it within a certain amount of time,
It'll take
again.
Is that still in there?
No, eventually, probably, I don't know how many years later, it eventually fell out. It used to wiggle. And then eventually it fell out. And now I've got bridge work there done. But yeah, so if you kids do unfortunately have something like that, or if it's a cracked tooth, if it breaks in half, you can't do anything about it.
No.
But if the whole tooth comes out,
You can put it back in.
just put it back in. And then they braced it. They put braces on it so it could take. Because if it's in there, it'll wobble around. So anyway, God, this show is quite informative. Don't eat lollies, kids, and remember to tie your nuts up when you're going on your bike.
Look after your nuts. Oh, here's some music.
Welcome to Somehow Related Now. Please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Anyway, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
We got to you got to look after your teeth, and we should pay a tribute to the dentists and the dental nurses. They do such a good job these days.
Oh, they do.
As compared to when we used to go to the dentist in the 70s.
Yep. I was traumatised as a kid.
Oh, same here, because Mr. What was his name? Dr. Ward. He didn't give us an injection. There was no needle. He would do a filling with no anaesthetic.
Why would he do that?
Because I don't know. Because Mum would. I remember leaving when I was about 14, like in so much pain, and Mum goes, "Did he give you a needle?" I'm like, "Nah."
Yeah, you might have been on the
bad list.
On the bad list, yeah.
He used to have his only concession to children, Dr. Ward. He'd have a little sticker of Mickey Mouse in the corner of the room, and he'd go, "Look at Mickey. He's happy. Look at Mickey." I always hated Mickey Mouse. Yeah, he had a sticker of Mickey Mouse. Look at Mickey. Look at Mickey.
Look at me. Well, that's not a bad idea.
I
wiggle my toes when I get in
Oh,
bed.
yeah.
Wiggle the toes, and then you go, holy, holy, huck.
Oh.
Huck, ow.
He always talks to you.
And then you do the slosh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we should get our topics. If you've never heard this podcast, we're both comedians. We do a podcast called Somehow Related.
But we do know a lot about medical things, dental things. No. So it is, I mean, if you want,
send in your medical problems.
Up to date references.
Health
come
issues.
To us. Come to us, because we've been there, done it all.
Absolutely.
Before.
And I'm doing the comedy festival very soon. The last 2 weeks of the comedy festival in Melbourne, so come along. I get Somehow Related fans coming all the time.
If you were a dentist, if you compared, like, you would be a specialist dentist. If you compared, like,
I'd be the guys that pull the teeth. You know when they send you upstairs to the guy that pulls the teeth?
I went to him the other day.
Yeah.
My dentist said, I don't really do that.
I
And then
know.
I went over the road. He goes, I do that. And he did it within, like, it came in like 5 seconds. It was a wisdom tooth.
Oh. Yeah, I'm a specialist of comedy, you're right.
You're not a teeth puller.
No.
You're orthodontic.
Am I? Yeah. Surgeon, yeah.
Orthodontics. Hang on. What's
Yeah.
is that braces?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you are. You're lining it up perfectly.
Anyway, my show's called Good One. Come along.
You're going to put that story in your show?
No, I might.
Because I know there's medical stuff in there.
A lot of medical
You've
stuff.
had your hip problem. You've had your...
Irritated testicle.
I forgot about the irritated testicle.
Man, that makes an appearance.
Sounds like a kid's character, like a kid's book. Which book do you want? Oh,
I think it's
Three Little Pigs. No, I want the irritated testicle.
Yeah, it's the new Wiggle. And
Yeah.
we've got Pirate Joe. No, we've got the irritated testicle coming out, kids. Here he comes. What a job. Oh, God. We got 2 topics got to work out how they're related. What are they, Sam?
Neil Young and Dances with Wolves, the movie.
Oh, Kevin Costner.
Kevin
I
Costner.
like Dance with Wolves. It was a great movie.
Well, I remember talking to Jeff Stilson about it. I said to Jeff, I went and saw that new film called Dancing with Wolves. And he laughed. It's not about Dancing with Wolves, but it is about Dancing with Wolves, isn't it? Doesn't at some point late in the day, doesn't he get around there and have a bit of a dugga and scratch him on the collar and stuff?
Yeah, he hangs out with wolves, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What year? 1990s?
I would say 1990, here around then. I remember seeing it when one of the first movies I saw when you work at a radio station where you get to go along.
Oh,
I went to the
premiere.
Triple M premiere, and it was 3 hours long. I sat next to, not far away from Mick Malloy.
Was Kevin Costner
Didn't know him
there?
that well, Mick then. I thought, wow, there's Mick Malloy.
Mick Malloy.
He's great. Kevin Costner wasn't there.
You thought he's great. Then you met him. You went, oh,
Have you met him?
Mick Malloy, yeah.
No, Kevin Costner.
No, of course not.
If you could look like a movie star, who would you like to look like? Kevin Costner,
Mick Malloy.
Brad Pitt,
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Bradley
Cooper.
Who are they're the big ones, aren't they? What's his name?
John Candy. John Goodman.
I remember there was a time there where everyone wanted to look a bit like what's his name? What was his name? Kevin Costner.
Yeah. It is funny, isn't it? Or remember when Miami Vice was big, everyone would look like Don Johnson.
Yeah.
I remember liking it. All I remember is that he's a white guy who sort of lives like an Indian, doesn't he? And he has the wolves hanging around him. What's the storyline?
It's something about him joining the Sioux.
Oh, that's right. He joins the Indians. Yeah.
Yeah, and is it during the Civil War that he's there or something?
There's some good battle scenes, isn't there?
I think so.
Yeah.
That he hangs around with them and learns about their culture and learns about life. And late in the day, he gets up. The wolves come in and has a bit of a dance with them, and they call it, and that's why he. Did
he direct it? I bet he did.
I think he directed it. Yeah. Yes.
Remember Waterworld? He did Waterworld.
That was the next one, the big one that came out of it, and that was like Mad Max, wasn't it?
Yeah, but in water, that would have been a nightmare to film that.
God, yeah.
He must have had some. He also was in Build It and They Will Come, wasn't he?
The
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams, well done. Yes,
he must.
And he's in that new Western now.
Oh yeah, he's great. Yellowstone.
You've seen all of that, haven't you?
Yeah, I like that. It's good. But he must have done a few flops. Because that was an absolute peak for him in the 90s with Dance with Wolves, Waterworld. I wonder what the ones that Field of Dreams.
He kept his age well. He still looks good in the Western one.
Yellowstone. Have you watched Yellowstone or?
I watched half the first episode, but from what I'm told,
look, it is like a soap opera. It's a bit melodramatic.
What the hell's going on here?
And he's always got a new enemy. It's like, oh, this series is a casino want to take my land, and then it's like, nah, don't worry about them. Now it's the Indian. Oh, the Indians want to take my land. And now it's a rich guy from New York. They're trying to take my land. And he ends up basically just killing everyone.
Was that one of the first movies, Dances with Wolves, one of the first movies that acknowledged the plight of the Indians as opposed to the cliched version of the Indians? They were the baddies and the Americans were the goodies.
Yes.
So,
it's funny, though, because that's probably one of the reasons he got Yellowstone, because that movie made him so famous in that kind of Western world. It's probably one of the reasons that they chose him for Yellowstone, I'd say.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think I'm right.
Yeah.
I think I'm right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any of his flops that he did. He must have had some movies that didn't. I got to remember.
Do you want me to look up IMDb?
Go on. Run me through them.
But I can't. I'm not allowed to look. The answer might be there.
The answer's not going to be there.
Well, it might be. I'm letting the audience know that we.
Well, why don't we ask Sam to run us through?
Oh, well,
I know you do it.
I'll do it.
You do it. And I'll tell you.
Can you tell us about? Talk about what's his name? Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, IMDb.
I'm doing this in real time, so I'm not very fast. Kevin.
Don't look up yourself.
Kevin.
Right? Don't look up the comments on yourself.
Glenn Robbins, Comedy Company, 1988, 89.
Wow.
Here we go. Kevin Costner. Here we go. This is good. This is in real time. Yeah. Filmography. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yellowstone, latest one.
Yeah.
Okay. Here are some of the movies that you probably haven't heard of.
Start from Dances with the Wolves. Start from then.
You want me to go back?
I reckon, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let's go through the timeline of what Kevin Costner did.
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of ones that... Was it 1990? God, it's a long way back.
90s.
Okay. Dances with the Wolves, 1990. We got that right.
Yeah, cool.
Next up, Robin, Prince of Thieves.
Oh, that was big.
Yep.
Okay, that was big.
Oh, yeah, JFK.
Oh.
Big, huge.
Huge. JFK was huge.
Yeah.
Great
next
movie.
up, Bodyguard.
Huge.
Yeah, Bodyguard.
He carried Whitney. Was it
only
Whitney?
Gets 6.4. Yeah, on IMDb.
We'll always love you.
Oh, this is coming out of the...
So these are that's like 4 massive movies.
Okay, going to drop down a little bit now. A Perfect World.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like there's a kid in it.
It's a kid sort of thing.
Yeah. Wide Earp. Don't know it.
Yeah,
okay.
Cowboys.
Then we go The War. Don't know what that is. Yeah. Then we go Your Waterworld.
Okay, so I had a few. Yeah, go on. Yeah. So that's like 5 massive hits.
What about golf called Tin Cup? Was that?
Oh, that was big. Tin Cup was big.
The Postman.
Yeah, that was a Western.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was a Western. Message in a bottle.
Oh, that was like a love song, love story thing. Yeah.
Is this interesting? I guess it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay, For the Love of the Game. For Love of the Game.
No.
Yeah, Play It to the Bone.
No.
See, now we're going at 13 days.
Oh,
we're going down now. 3,000 miles to Graceland. Oh, Road to Graceland. No. Dragonfly. Open Range. The Upside of Anger.
So this is his down period.
I reckon, rumour has it, he played the dad in Rumour Has It, because Jennifer Aniston is in that. The Guardian, Mr. Brooks, Swing Vote, look out. The New Daughter, The Company Man, Hatfields and McCoys, Man of Steel, Jack Ryan. We're way off now. 3 Days to Kill, Draft Day, Black or White, McFarlane USA, Billy the Kid, Batman versus. Okay, now we're into the Batman.
And he goes back to westerns with Billy the Kid.
And then Hips, Unknown, Highwayman, Art of the.
I think we've established it now.
And then we just get to Yellowstone.
Yeah, so basically you had those 5 in the 90s into the 2000s, those massive movies. Like JFK was huge.
So if we were interviewing, if we were like ringing him up now, would you say you had a bit of a slump there for a while?
No.
What would you say?
Kevin, there was the era where you had absolute blockbusters, and then you made more kind of interesting choices.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
you're kind of doing more interesting roles, and then he'd talk about that, and I go, but you seem to always be drawn back to westerns. Why is that?
See, that's why you're.
Then I'd say, and some absolute crap in there, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely.
That. Oh, well, that's really interesting.
I reckon he's a good guy. Imagine starring in and directing. How hard is that?
That's tough.
It's tough.
Really
okay,
hard.
we're going to do a 2-shot here with the pan, with the tracking shot, and then the helicopter's going to come in. Hang on. I'll put my hat on, and I'll jump in.
Action.
And someone else will have to call action because he wouldn't.
Yeah.
And then they go and cut, and they'd have to walk back over to the split. That's what they call it in the movies, the split. The split. That means you get the TV screen and you get the...
It would take a while because he'd have to watch playback, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Whereas normal directors would see it on the run and go, oh, that's fine, we got it. Let's move on.
As an actor, normally what you do in between takes is eat the props.
Yeah.
If it's if there's
go to the craft service.
But he would be hard at it. And that film, how long was it? I know.
No, you said it was 3 hours.
Did I say 3 hours?
Yeah.
What's your sweet spot for a film length?
Hour and a half. You know what? You don't want to go to the toilet. You know what I mean?
Good
you want to go beforehand.
Good measure.
Sit there, eat your ice cream, come out at the hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and go. You don't want to sit there just because you're often sucking on a drink anyway. So,
and then if you're with your partner, do you go, "What did I miss?" Do you say that?
Oh, here we come back in.
If you hadn't gone to the stupid toilet, you wouldn't know.
Well, I rarely leave a movie to go to the toilet. Rarely, I just hang on.
Do you just hang on? As we said in the other podcast, go to the toilet like a horse.
Yeah. Well, we've talked enough about Kevin Costner, haven't we?
No, but if Kevin's
Dance with
listening,
Wolves.
we would just like to congratulate him on his
well
career.
done, Kevin.
Well done, Kevin.
And he's had a resurgence with Yellowstone, and as we know, a lot of the interesting work now is on TV. So don't feel bad about going back to TV.
If you're a movie star and your name was Kevin, would you change it?
Oh, that's the name of my dad. Yeah, it's an old-fashioned name.
I'm not saying it's bad, but it doesn't sound like a movie star name, does it?
No, it's like a 70, 80-year-old man, Kevin.
What did he get called, Kev?
My dad got called Kev. Yeah, what if Kevin Costner's Kev?
Hey, Kev.
Hey, Kev.
It does sound like you work at...
It's
no
Kevin.
disrespect to your dad, but Kev is a mechanic to me.
Yeah, well, my dad was a mechanic. So, yeah.
Kev, good name, strong name.
Yeah, Kev. It's Kev can handle stuff.
But he's not a romantic hero with the wind in his hair sitting on the back of a horse with a, going to ride off with the cavalry.
I've fallen in love with this amazing man called Kevin. What? Like, think of the other famous Kevins. Kevin Bloody Wilson.
Yep.
Kevin Hines, Kevin Hines,
you're
the
good.
gardener.
Yeah.
Kevin
Dennis.
Kevin Dennis, the car yard.
That was a car yard.
They're all over 80, those guys.
That was a car yard in Victoria.
Yeah, Kevin Dennis.
Around the country.
Kevin Bartlett.
Kevin Bartlett.
Richmond footballer.
Did the comb over.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So, look, I take it back. Kevin says a lot to me.
I've done a few gigs with Kevin Bartlett, KB, who played in 3 decades of football. And he's like a stand-up comedian. His talk that he gives.
I know.
Never
follow a footballer.
You can follow some of them, but you can't follow KB.
Yeah.
There's a Kevin Bartlett Reserve.
Yeah.
He's had a reserve named after him.
Yeah.
And he does the joke himself. He goes, and so during winter we just grow the grass on one side and we comb it over.
Yeah. Yes.
And he goes, I'm there every Friday night collecting the gold coins from the barbecues, some of the perks. It's hilarious. KB. All right, well, let's talk about Neil Young.
We have a request, like, a lot of people make requests on podcasts.
Yeah.
Which is, if you like the show,
leave a review.
And
5
hit
stars.
hit that follow button. That's what they say in the American.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. I like Neil Young. He's Canadian, and he's got some great songs.
What would you say his style is?
It's
folk. Is it folk?
Singer-songwriter, country folk. Yeah, rock.
Country folk. See, Beyonce's got a country song out now.
I've heard that.
And it's pretty toe-tapping good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Called Texas or something. I heard it the other day, and I really felt like boot scooting.
Woo! And you can boot scoot. We've seen it on TV.
I can do mock boot scooting. Country music makes you feel good.
I like country music.
Yeah.
I'm going to see.
What's that, Joe?
I'm going to see a country band.
Oh, really?
This weekend, Wilco. They're
That's my brother loves Wilco.
Oh, your brother Wilco?
He's going to be there.
Neil or Phil?
Neil.
Phil, Neil?
Neil. He's going to be there. Neil came on the phone a couple of weeks ago.
Is he going to Melbourne or Sydney?
He's got places all around the world. I'm joking. No, he's down in Melbourne because his boys are down here, and he'll go with his boys.
And some of Phil's kids are singer-songwriters.
Yeah, Jack
Will
Robbins.
Jack be there?
Yeah, he came on 3 we came at 774 with us.
And he sang a song.
Sang a song for you.
Yeah, he's good. He was good.
He tours in the US now.
He won't be at Wilco.
No, he won't.
Oh, that's
be.
funny that Neil likes Wilco.
Yeah.
Well, it's all older men and women. I saw a woman at the airport with a Wilco shirt.
I thought it was young and hip.
Wilco would be in their 50s now, those guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Wilco. They've been around forever. They've been around. I remember first hearing Wilco when I was on 3RRR, which is 96, 97, that kind of era.
Okay. So you should. Well, you don't need a special section for you.
No,
You'll be the whole section.
Yeah, I'll be the young guy there.
First I heard of Neil Young was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Yeah, because he was in that band, wasn't he?
He was, but they were Crosby, Stills and Nash, and then they were doing that. And you're going to join now? I have to put another name on there.
Yeah, but he's mainly known as a solo.
And
Heart of Gold,
and his voice is what
Heart
I like.
Of Gold.
Oh man,
take a look at my life.
I'm alive.
Like
I seen the needle and the damage done.
That's it. It's a bit Bob Dylan. He's a bit Bob Dylan-ish. I got to say, I've got on my phone. I don't have any Neil Young songs on my phone except for Computer Age. So he did an electronic album.
Look out.
Computer Age. It's a great song.
Games.
That's my sex. Yeah, it's not dissimilar to that. Similar to when Bob Dylan took up electric guitars. I remember we did Bob Dylan on this podcast and Brian Nankervis tells it. Someone yelled out traitor when he brings out the electric guitar. And when Neil Young did his electronic album, everyone's like, oh no. But
yeah, there was something about him with the guitar and a harmonica. He was bigger than a harmonica, wasn't he?
He also is famous for telling Spotify to take my songs off because I'm not getting.
And look, I don't want to. We're on Spotify. This podcast is on Spotify.
Yeah.
But can they do that? Can they just and not pay you?
Yeah. Well, no. Everyone gets paid, but they don't get paid enough, according to Neil Young. And so Neil Young started a thing, and then other people followed. Maybe Taylor Swift, maybe some really big names followed him. But he was the first one to say. Well, the first one that I heard about that said, artists aren't getting paid enough.
Well, I tried to do that with Actors Equity years ago when streaming came along because I signed contracts pre-streaming.
Yes. Well, that was a writer's strike in America was about.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and the actor strike was about streaming.
Because all of a sudden you got this thing that's just...
Yeah, it's just on a loop.
On a loop. And you're going... And they often will sell it under a threshold, and if it doesn't go above the threshold, the actors don't get paid.
So Kath and Kim was on Netflix.
More money. Give us it now. More money. Give us it
when
now.
Kath and Kim was on Netflix, that had another boom again. You'd know yourself, you would have had people coming up to you in the street.
Yeah, okay, I'll get paid for that.
Oh, you got paid for that. All right, okay. Well, there was anyway, there we go.
Oh, yeah, no, YouTube had a bit to do with it. I know Coit's had a resurgence on YouTube, and because of the ads as well.
You got paid for that. You're not doing that for free.
No, not doing that for free.
People always send them to me too. There's heaps of knockoff Russell Coit stuff out there.
Is there?
Oh, stickers and...
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of that. I get nothing for any of that. If you see anything out there, we had nothing to do with it.
And people say, well, why don't, Working Dog who own Russell Coit with you, why don't they... But by the time they go after them...
Well, it's achieved its aim.
Yeah, they just take it off the market. Go, all right, we'll take it off the market.
I've been on ads for certain companies, and then you go, and they'll put it just online and on Instagram or something, and then you go, hey, you can't do that. And they go, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but they've already...
It's already out there. And the job is done.
How annoying.
So you can't... And could you be bothered chasing that money?
It's like to a lesser extent.
Wrong.
It's like, the front of the Herald saying Glenn Robbins pedophile, and then you say, no, that's wrong. And go, oh, okay, we'll issue an apology. Page 35 tomorrow.
That's what I don't get about the news. When someone says or does something inappropriate, say someone says, you made a sexist remark, they would then report that sexist remark on the news, and you go, you're just as guilty because you repeated what Dave O'Neill said.
Yeah, they love that, though, I reckon.
You can't, remember there was a thing where someone called a footballer gorilla. You're going, you can't say it again. Yeah. You're guilty by saying, oh, don't get me started on this.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like, oh, he called him a gorilla, so we're the news. We can say anything we like. We're going to go. Now you've offended the guy again.
My least favourite thing in the modern news world is when they just get stories off Twitter and they go, the reaction to Taylor Swift's concert was mixed or whatever, and they just got Phil from Croydon going, yeah, it was all right, not great. It's like, mate, that's just one guy.
Yeah. Oh, you want to know my number one about the news is when they take the plight of people, maybe a death in the family or a car accident or something, and then they use that death, that story of that death, to promote their product.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll go, man died so-and-so in a car accident, fire, blah, 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 blah. We were there first. How dare you use the life of someone to promote your commercial product?
Terrible.
Disgusting. Terrible. I should be on 3AW. We should be on.
You should be outraged.
Yeah, we should get Tom Elliott, my good friend, went surfing with Tom the other day, by the way.
Oh, Tom Elliott, Dave, you've got to sell those shares. They're going no good.
He used to advise me on my stocks. I don't have any stocks anymore. But anyway.
So highly successful, still is.
Canadian.
Does a lot for the environment, does a lot for charity from what I believe. Canadian. I reckon he'd be a good guy. How old would he be now?
70.
Yes.
He'd have to be in his 70s.
Do you reckon he gets up and plays?
I reckon he's still
If you put him in YouTube, I reckon he would have been singing. That's the thing about America. You can exist forever over there.
Bruce Springsteen's still tours, and he's in his 70s. He's similar, isn't he?
Yeah.
To Neil Young, the boss.
But he would be. I mean, you know music better than me. He's legendary status.
Yeah.
Beyond legendary.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you've got like the Bob Dylan.
Yep.
He's up there. He goes Bob Dylan, Neil Young, Bruce Springsteen. In terms of
singer-songwriters, one man, one guitar. Yeah,
yeah. And then you'd go, Dolly Parton. Who else? There's a lot of them. I don't know. Your favourite, James Taylor.
He's coming out.
He's coming out. I know. You seen his photo?
No.
Looks old.
Has he?
Hope they've got wheelchair access. Anyway. I love James Taylor.
I do too, but I don't want to go to a whole concert.
I know. I just want to hear Handyman.
Really?
Love Handyman. It's a great song.
Sitting on the top of the roof. What is it? Up on the roof?
Yeah. I'm not as old as you.
Yeah. Mudslide Slim. That was one of my favourites.
Elton John, Billy Joel, they're up there too, but they're more piano guys, aren't they? They're not a guitar guy. They're piano guys.
So Neil Young, up there.
Up there.
If he was here now, sitting over on one of the tables over there, and he had his guitar, what would you want him to sing?
I'd like to hear him just sing Computer Age, my favourite. But that's an electronic song.
No.
But he'd probably go, no, look, I'd be happy with Heart of Gold.
I'd be happy with Old Man.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Mother Nature on the run. What's that song?
Yeah.
1917. If you're a young audience member out there, you probably wonder what we're talking about because we're whining into the...
Us dad.
Yeah.
Or mum.
Yeah.
I remember at high school...
It was very big at our high school.
Yeah, but see, we were into... Cause, again, a bit younger than you. We were into new wave and punk. So we had like Madness.
You wore a Devo
Oils,
hat sometime.
Devo.
You wore a Devo hat, didn't you? On the train?
That's a true story.
Train.
It's in my book.
You wore a Devo hat on the train.
Are we not men? We are Devo.
Where did you get the Devo hat from?
Mum made it.
Mum made it what, for an ice cream container or something?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Because
cardboard maybe. They actually
no wonder you nearly got beaten up.
They actually called energy domes. That's the correct term. There were kind of hippie girls, surfy girls, and I remember one of them had a Neil Young "Rust Never Sleeps" t-shirt.
Even today you get a baby
Pretty
boomer.
cool.
He'll be pulling that baby out. The baby boomers listening to this podcast are having lovely vibes going through.
But back then, I'm going to her Neil Young. I'm into Duran Duran. Come on.
Yeah.
But I mean, now I appreciate Neil Young. I like him.
Yeah, great lyrics. He would have written everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably hard to work with.
And you reckon it's biographical, a lot of it?
I reckon. I wonder where he lives. What if he lives in Canada? Where Neil Young lives.
Yeah.
I love, who's the other guy that's a bit like Neil Young but not as successful, who did Jack and Diane? John Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh, yeah.
I live in a small town.
Yeah.
I grew up in a small town.
Yeah.
I actually looked it up. He actually doesn't live in a small town. The town's a city now.
What?
I live in a small city.
If you were, Dave O'Neill was like a Neil Young type, could you write a song about? How would you do a lyric for your song? I like hamburgers on a fried. Sing us a song.
I could go through my day. I wake up at 7, woken by the builders next door doing Reynolds, and I get up.
I'm interested.
I'm making the lunch for the kids, dropping them off at school. Get away from my coffee, then I'm back to bed for my nap time. Early morning nap time. That'll be the chorus. Early morning nap time. And all the Gen X and boomers in the audience like, I love an early morning nap.
Time. So when you,
all right.
Do nap time.
What's he going to have for lunch? This is such an exciting song. I go down the pub to see Glenn Robbins. We had a curry for lunch. Curry for lunch.
See, or
nap
it's-
time.
yeah.
Early morning nap time.
Of course, we all remember Dave O'Neill for nap time.
Early morning nap time.
Yeah,
I
early
think it's
morning
quite a
nap
long
time.
time.
Mid-morning nap.
Mid-morning nap.
Look,
Okay.
Neil Young, legend.
What more can we say? Not
What
much.
more can we say?
Well, let's have some thinking music.
Let's have a scene from Dances with Wolves.
Oh, I can't remember any scenes.
Is there any classic scenes? We could have it because John Barry. Oh, no, we're not allowed to play music.
No.
John Barry did the music for Dances with Wolves, and he is your classic cinematographer.
Oh, I don't know him.
Cinema, you don't really know.
Well, it'd be good to play a bit of Neil Young, but we can't.
can't.
We just sing along.
Hey, here's my theory about Neil
Computer
Young. I reckon,
age.
as you just did, I reckon a lot of his songs,
Hmm.
he's been out and about with a little pad in his pocket,
Yeah. He's getting ideas.
and he probably on the bus.
And you know what? There were probably they always talk about this periods where they go through get
Writer's
writer's
block?
block.
Yes.
So who would he go and see to talk to? A psychologist? I'll be Neil Young. You be the psychologist. Neil's got writer's block. All right.
Neil's got writer's block.
Okay.
Well, come on in, sit down.
Hello there. My name's Neil Young.
Yeah, I realise you're a singer.
Yeah.
I'm here to psychoanalyse you and just work you through. I hear you're having a few problems with
Well,
your
I had a
songwriting.
traumatic childhood, but when we're talking about that, I've got writer's block. You know,
Yeah.
I need. I don't know. I need inspiration. I can't unblock myself.
Well, as you know, I see many people with problems. I
Sure.
see many people with family problems, with drug problems. I
Yeah.
have seen the needle and I've seen the damage done.
Well, hang on a minute. What, the needle and the damage done? I'm just.
What are you writing down there?
I just like to take a few notes when I'm here. Okay, what else you seen?
Well, what you need to do
Yeah.
when you're an old man.
I'm an old man,
Yeah,
sure.
You need to look at, well, old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like
Hang on
you
a sec.
were.
Oh, let me put that into words. Say, old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like
You were.
you were. Hey, that's good.
Are you?
No. Keep going. That's all right. I gotta.
What are you? Everything's a song with you.
No.
Just
Well,
listen to the therapy and take on the wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got problems.
There comes a time.
Comes a time. Yeah, go on.
When you will be able to go back to songwriting.
Oh,
Yeah.
comes a
Look,
time.
You know, it's a natural thing that you have to go through.
Right.
Look, because it will look at Mother Nature on the run back in the 1970s.
Look at Mother Nature on the run. I like that. That's good. Yeah. You know what? Your therapy's really helping me, Doc.
Yeah, well,
What else you got?
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to open up that part of your brain.
Yep.
There are certain times that I find that I am creative. This may work for you, especially around the harvest moon.
Harvest Moon. Harvest. Wow. Yeah, keep going.
Harvest moon, maybe try writing then. Maybe jot a few things down.
Okay.
Listen to people.
Yeah.
If you hear something, say something. I'm just looking at the window. There's a bit of a...
What's out
Is
there?
that a hurricane?
Hurricane. Not tornado. Hurricane's better. Yeah, that's good.
Sorry?
Hey, okay, keep going.
Anyway, look. I'm getting a weird vibe.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm feeling my blockage is starting to unblock. You're really helping me here.
Look, I'm going to have to wrap it up.
Oh,
But all I can say is,
yeah,
if you get a block
yeah,
and you can't get around it,
yeah.
don't worry.
Has it got something to do with my heart of gold? Hey, that's good. I'm coming up with stuff myself now. Go on, keep going.
All I'll say is,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Just
No.
let it be.
Let it be. Nah, that's not good. All right. Thank you. Wow. What an insight.
He'd be talking to his assistant saying, don't get that Neil Young in here again.
Yeah.
That
Just
was very clever.
robbed me of ideas.
Very clever.
Those writers that we have write those skits are very good.
How do they do that?
Oh, they're busy. They're writing stuff.
Yeah, we get people all over the world writing for stuff.
Oh, incredible.
They send it in and say, do this with your funny
Yeah.
little make-believe. I hope people enjoy them. We enjoy doing them.
We love them. But anyway, wow, what's
Oh,
your...
I know. I reckon I know what this is.
So, Dancing with the Wolves, Neil Young. Okay, well, Neil Young was the original composer of Dancing with the Wolves, and though you said it was someone else, maybe he did songs that were rejected.
Oh, that's good.
What are you going to say?
I'm going to say that, is it Dunbar? Is that the name of the guy? That he was real and that he was related to Neil Young.
Oh, the character that Kevin plays.
Yeah, Kevin. I think his name was someone Dunbar.
Yeah,
I think that was his name or something. So they are that. So Neil Young
All right.
And maybe that's why he cares about people so much, that he realizes he has heritage.
He's got the Native American.
In his blood.
Even though he's Canadian.
Yeah.
All right. What's the answer, Sam?
As Kevin Costner has now often told the story, the iconic buffalo hunt scene in Dances with Wolves involved thousands of buffalo. One of them was owned by none other than Neil Young himself. Neil Young provided his pet buffalo, Mammoth, and the South Dakota Meat Company provided their mascot, a tame buffalo named Cody, for the film.
Wow, that's amazing.
Who would think?
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Neil Young.
We kept buffaloes.
You have a goat, or you domesticated buffaloes.
A dog, maybe.
A dog, or a
Cats.
you're a pig at the but
Maybe.
But how would you domesticate a buffalo?
Well, they must be born in captivity.
And
It's
they
like
must
when
be
I saw those penguins. They've got penguins at the aquarium here in Melbourne. I said to the woman, "How did you catch these?" And she said, "Oh no, they're all bred in captivity." But I'm like, "Yeah, but back, not all of them were.
Yeah, no, that's
like
right.
the mummy and the daddy somewhere were caught, weren't
Yeah,
they?
that's right.
And so these buffaloes, someone must have caught two buffaloes, well, whatever, the man and the woman.
Yeah.
Buffaloes all men? They must be lady buffaloes. God,
Buffalettes. Yeah.
And they must have just, bred them in captivity and then just like a horse.
There
I
you
suppose.
go. Who's to know these things and what people do with it?
What a great fact.
Yeah, interesting fact.
I'm starting to look at my cats thinking maybe I can farm them out.
Well,
make
that's
some
not
cash.
stupid.
Farm them out, like make some coin.
Well,
off
I think
these
in
cats.
Hollywood, if your cat has a special talent or a dog,
Not really.
you put it with an agent. You go, my cat can.
My cat can't do anything. But
I told you about the when I work in the agency.
yeah.
Have I told
tell
you
us
the story?
again. It's
When
a
I was
beauty.
filling in, my partner at the time had an agency with talent.
A showbiz agent.
Showbiz agent, and she was away, and she asked me to mind the phones. And this is true. Okay, so I'm minding the phones, and the guy rings up and goes, he goes, "G'day, do you represent dogs?" I said, "No. We just represent actors and some singers and stuff like that." "Oh, I've got a dog that can sing. His name's Socrates."
Socrates, that's right. Yeah.
Socrates. Could I just get him to audition over the phone? And I'm going, I am pissing myself. And I am not for a second believing this is a setup. Not for a second.
No.
You go, Socrates, sit, Socrates, sit, Socrates. Okay, sing, Socrates. And Socrates go, yeah. Rude, Socrates, sing. Come on, put your boys up here. And Socrates, sing. I am banging the table laughing. And then he goes, aha, got you. It's Jamie Dunn, who was Agro, who was with the agency. And
Really?
He was represented by the agency.
Because he did radio for years.
Yeah, represented by the agency and wanted to do his funny character.
Gotcha.
Got you a beauty.
Gotcha.
And got me a beauty. And I don't know, you probably hear it somewhere.
Sometimes when people ring up, you do think, is this a prank?
Oh, yeah, I know.
You go, is this a prank?
Yeah. Sometimes you don't, though. You go, how could I have not picked that up?
Well, I had someone ring me up once and said, we want you to come on at halftime at the footy and dress as a giant MasterCard and lead the crowd in Mambo number 5. I'm just like, oh, this is
a setup.
This is Mick Malloy. Who's ringing up? Who's this?
Yeah.
No, it was real. I always regretted saying no. I just wanted to be.
Well, the experience of having that.
Imagine that, wearing a giant credit card and going out at halftime and going, a little bit of Monica in your life and a little, whoa, here comes a beer bottle. Whoa, here comes ba, ba, da, da, da.
And you can hit people, and the problem is people kick you, and you know what do they call that when they get into fights? Those things they're called the
mosh pit,
the mascots.
Often the mascots they have fights, yeah.
They punch on.
So I could have been a giant MasterCard having a fight with a Visa card. I could have made me in show business.
Oh, here he comes. Would you welcome to the stage now? Well, you can do this with your show. The Giant Master. You remember him from the Giant MasterCard? Would you welcome Dave O'Neill?
The famous YouTube fight with the Visa card.
Yeah,
but then I'd have to wear the costume all the time.
No, but you pull your pants down and they do the credit card in the crack of your ass.
Oh yeah,
that would take you around the world.
Missed opportunities.